Let us solve a question on how to find out the tax rate that maximizes the government tax revenue and the post-tax equilibrium price and quantity. Question is demand and supply functions are being given us as demand function is P is equal to 14 minus 2x. P is the price and x denotes the quantity demanded, and supply function is being given us as P is equal to 2 plus x, where x is the quantity and P is the price. We have to find out the equilibrium price and quantity before the imposition of tax. Then the next question is if the government imposes a tax T per unit on quantity sold, find the tax rate that maximizes government tax revenue, and we have to also find out the post-tax equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, let's try to solve it. Let's first draw the graph that will make more sense. Okay, so let us say we have quantity on the horizontal axis and price on the vertical axis. Okay, initially we have to find out the equilibrium price and quantity. Given this demand function and this supply function, we know equilibrium occurs where demand is equal to supply, so we equate these two. So we have 14 plus 2x is equal to 2 plus x. Okay, now solving for what we call x here, so rather it is 14 minus 2x, sorry for this mistake. So it will become 14 minus 2 is 12 is equal to 3x. Okay, simple algebra, dividing both sides by 3, which gives us x will be equal to 4. Okay, let us say this is our demand function. Okay, this is our demand function, and also we have a supply function. This is our supply function, initial supply function. Now equilibrium occurs where demand equals supply, so we have this point. Initially 4 units are being supplied at a price of, to find out the equilibrium price, simply plug the equilibrium quantity in either demand or supply function. Let's put it into the supply function. That means P will be equal to 2 plus 4, which is equal to 6. Okay, so initially the equilibrium price and quantity is 4 and 6, rather 6 and 4 respectively. Now the question tells us if the government imposes a tax T per unit on quantity sold. Okay, so here see that when the government imposes a per unit tax on the quantity sold, okay, our supply function will shift leftwards, demand function will remain same. Okay, so let's write it here. So after tax, okay, again we equate equate demand and new supply function. So our demand function is same, what is 14 minus 2x. Okay, and we equate it with new supply function. What will be the new supply function? Old supply function plus the tax rate. Okay, so we have 2 plus x, 2 plus x plus t. Okay, t denotes the tax rate. Simple thing. After tax we equate demand function with new supply function. New supply function, obviously when tax is being imposed on per unit basis, this supply function will shift leftwards. Okay, because marginal cost will increase, so quantity supplied will be less. Now if we again equate this, what will we get? We will get, transposing this here, this is 12. 12 is equal to 3x plus t. Let us solve it for x. So 3x will be equal to 3x is equal to 12 minus t, or we divide both sides by x, so we will get x will be equal to 12 upon 3 is 4 minus 1 upon 3 t. Okay, after the imposition of tax t, quantity transacted is equal to this equation. Okay, now the question tells us to find out the tax revenue, sorry, the tax rate that maximizes the government revenue. Okay, so this is our quantity, quantity transacted post tax, and we know that what is tax revenue. Tax revenue will be equal to, and let's write it, let's denote it by R. So tax revenue will be equal to tax rate times quantity transacted. Okay, Q, let's denote, sorry, we have Q, X for quantity, so X. Okay, so new quantity transacted is this equation. Okay, so our R will be equal to T times this new quantity transacted, that is 4 minus T upon 3 multiplying, so we will get R will be equal to 4T minus T square upon 3. So this is our government revenue after the imposition of tax. Now we want to maximize this tax revenue. Okay, we know that to find out the tax rate that will maximize the government revenue, that means we want to maximize this function. Okay, so maximum of this function occurs when we take the derivative of government tax revenue function with respect to t and set it equal to 0. Okay, this is the condition for maximum. We know if this is our function, this is 4t minus t square upon 3. So maximize occurs at a point where the slope of this function will be equal to 0, and it occurs where dr upon dt, when the derivative of this tax function with respect to when the derivative of this revenue function with respect to tax is equal to 0, slope will be equal to 0. Okay, so this is actually first order condition only. We have to also check the second order condition here, but we are not required. So let's take the derivative with respect to t. Derivative of t is 1, so we are left with 4 minus derivative of t square is 2t, so we have 2t upon 3 is equal to 0. Solving for t, so 2 upon 3 t will be equal to 4, which implies t will be equal to 4 into transposing 3 upon 4. So sorry, 3 upon 2 here. So 2 ones are 2 twos are 4. That gives us t will be equal to 2 threes are 6. So tax rate will be equal to 6. Okay. The tax rate that maximizes government revenue is equal to 6. Now we also, and graphically what exactly happens. So this supply function shift is here. Okay, let's say S plus the tax rate. Okay, so when the supply curve shifts, that is after tax, demand is equal to new supply function, and here we can see, and let us see here first. So we will get less quantity at higher price after the imposition of tax. What will be the post tax equilibrium price and quantity? Okay, we need to find out. Now quantity demanded, or the price, the price that the buyers will pay will be equal to, let us plug the value of, or first we need to find out the post tax equilibrium quantity. So if tax rate is 6, post tax quantity is this function. So plug t is equal to 6 into this function, we will get x will be equal to 4 minus 1 upon 3 into t. T is 6, so we will get x will be equal to 3 ones are 3 twos are 6. So we have 4 minus 2, which is equal to 2. So after the imposition of tax, quantity demanded or supplied will be equal to 2 at a price of, okay, we can also find out the price here, but we are not required to find out that very thing. So the quantity, rather the price that the buyers will be paying will be equal to 14 minus 2 times the new quantity that is being transacted after the imposition of per unit tax, which is equal to 2, so which comes out to be 10. That means consumers will be paying $10 price. And what about sellers? So sellers, let us say PS after tax, okay, PS subscript T, I had denoted it, the price that the sellers will get, that will be equal to $10. That means the price that the buyers will pay minus the tax that is to be paid to the government, that is 6. Okay, so the price that the sellers will be getting will be equal to the price that the consumers pay minus the tax rate, so that will be equal to 4. Okay, also we can find out the government tax revenue. Let's denote by G superscript R. So government revenue will be equal to the tax rate times the quantity transacted after the imposition of tax. The quantity transacted is 2, okay, and tax rate is 6, so 6 into 2 will be equal to 12. So 12 will be the government tax revenue. Okay, now let me repeat it here, okay, to make it more mm, meaningful. So we were told to find out the equilibrium price and quantity before the imposition of tax. Simple thing, before the imposition of tax, we equate demand and supply functions to get the equilibrium quantity as 4 and equilibrium price as 6. So this is 4 and 6. After that, we were told if government imposes a tax T per unit on quantity sold, find the tax rate that maximizes government tax revenue. Okay, so when the government imposes a tax T, okay, this is the initial, this black line and this red line denotes the initial equilibrium after the imposition of tax. Obviously this supply function will shift towards left because the marginal cost of the firm will increase. Okay, so after the imposition of tax, we equate the old demand function with new supply function, and new supply function will be equal to the old supply function plus the tax that is being imposed. Okay, when we equate it, we get the new quantity transacted will be equal to x is equal to 4 minus 1 upon 3t. Now we were told to find out the government revenue. Now government revenue will be simply equal to the tax rate T times the new quantity transacted. So this is T into X. Solving for this, we get this R function, that is government revenue function is 4T minus T square upon 3. To maximize this government, we were told to find out the tax rate that maximizes government revenue. That means we want to maximize this function with respect to tax. So for maximization or minimization, we take the derivative of the given function with respect to the given variable. Here it is t, and set it equal to 0. It will give us a point where the slope of the curve is equal to 0. Obviously we also need to check the second order condition, so it's not actually required here, so we leave it here because I don't have the space. Okay, so solving for r, we will get solving for t here, derivative of this function with respect to t, we will get this equation. So tax rate will be equal to 6. Okay, when tax rate is equal to 6, then quantity transacted will be equal to 4 minus 1 upon 3 times the tax rate after the tax imposition. Okay, so which will be equal to 2. So new quantity supplied or demanded is 2, and the new price that the buyers will be paying will be equal to, simply plug x is equal to 2 into demand function, so it is 14 minus 2 into new quantity transacted. So this is 14 minus 4, which is 10. So new price will be equal to 10. That means buyers will be paying a price of $10 and sellers will get a price which is equal to $10 that the buyers are paying the price minus the tax that is being imposed, that is 6. Rather, that maximizes the government tax revenue or tax rate. So the price that buyers will pay minus the tax rate, which is equal to 4. That means suppliers, and let's write it here, Okay, and this denotes the tax revenue of the government. Okay, now tax revenue is simply equal to tax rate times quantity transacted post tax. So that's t into that x is equal to 2, so government revenue will be equal to 12. I hope I make myself useful for you. Thank you.